Logan Show. Hey, coming up today at the show, the CU basketball team gears up for its final regular season game. We'll talk with Andre Roberson. Plus, the Avalanche play the Red Wings tonight. You still care? I do. That for today at 3:05 on 850 KOA.
650 on 850 KOA. Despite what lawmakers are fighting over in Washington, apparently we're pretty optimistic these days and finally spending money again. Let's get into that with business growth analyst Thomas Vecchia. He's got 20 years of experience helping companies increase their bottom lines. He's also the author of the X Factor Selling System. Good morning, Thomas.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. Well, it's certainly good that we're optimistic, but is it good that we're spending more money even though our incomes have not gone up? In many cases, they've gone down.
Absolutely. So thank you for having me again. So basically in January, the Commerce Department showed that personal income dropped 3.6% just in January alone. And the reason being was the fiscal cliff was a culprit. There was a 2% increase in payroll taxes. So in short, a lot more money was going out versus a lot less money coming in.
You got people right now listening to you saying, yeah, I know about credit card debt. I'm still paying off last holiday. You know what I mean? I mean, we're still a country that pays so much on credit regardless of what's coming in.
Absolutely. So it's interesting enough is a study done by Bankrate showed, and that's the culprit here, credit, because when you have that gap of money coming in versus going out, you're going to have issues with credit. So basically, on average, credit card debt was accumulated versus savings across the spectrum. So 60% of men versus 49% of women saw an increase in credit card debt versus savings. And interesting enough is those with children got hit even harder. Only 29% actually saved money with children versus 21% without. So basically, we're hitting not just people who are married or not just people that are have children. Everyone's getting hit with this issue.
So why are we spending now? Does it feel like we're actually optimistic, or does it feel like we've just been waiting for 5 years hoping something would turn around, and now we have to buy? We have things we need.
Absolutely. There's pent-up demand, but the devil's in the details. If you look at the data, the cars, the appliances, the bigger durables are not really up. It's more the smaller stuff. And what's interesting enough is it's adding up. So people are eating out more. The manufacturing data is up slightly. But here's the interesting part. People feel like they're wealthier, but they're actually not wealthier. And frankly, I think the stock market's a culprit. And number two, I think just people are tired of not spending money to loosen up the purse strings.
I have several friends who own perfect examples of small businesses in Colorado, and it is really tough for them. They're not on the verge of closing doors, but they're certainly not on the verge of planning their retirement in Hawaii. How tough is it right now to to be a small business owner specifically? I don't know if you can go down to our level here in Colorado.
Well, interesting enough is whether you're in Colorado and I happen to be in New Jersey, I think the issues are the same. And candidly speaking, I would like to say economy agnostic. And what I mean by that is whether the economy is good, whether the economy is bad, you need to look at the health of your own company. So what to do in times like this? Number one, you need to decrease your spending if you're personally or through your business. The other thing is you really need to look at your budget and say, okay, can I live within my means? Because that's essentially what happens. In businesses, the worst thing they can do now is spend in a poor economy and be in the same boat as a consumer.
Yeah, if you're talking to a company right now, whether it be small or big, how would you tell them to take advantage of these loosened purse strings, if you will?
Well, absolutely. Well, see, I'm a sales expert, and in my book, The X Factor Selling System, we talk about the 4 P's and why people buy. So, for example, people buy because of people, product, process, or price. So the economy is bad. People are price focused, and price seems to be the leader. Right now, people are changing their attributes, if you will, as to why they buy. So if you were selling on price for a while and you see the purse strings loose up, you might want to talk about the attributes of your products. If you're in a homogeneous space where the products are similar, you may want to talk about how your product is easier to use. So that may have an effect on your brand and market position.
Thomas, good to talk to you. We appreciate the insight this morning.
Fantastic. And if your listeners have any questions, they can check me out at thesalesexpertusa.com or follow me on Twitter at thesalesexpert.
Sounds good. Thomas Vecchia of the X Factor Selling System on the Newsline. We'll check Money News with his own system. Greg Moss coming up next.